It's Joe Beningo and Evan Roberts on The Fan.
Sports Radio 66, The Fan. WFAN, New York.
8:35 on The Fan, and a stellar Sunday night special edition of the Midday Show. We are live. Beningo Roberts from Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. The Jets are one win away from the Super Bowl. Are you kidding me, bro? Oh, we're going to be here till 10 o'clock, and I want to thank
Nate Kading?
Well, Nate Kading, who, he can have his Pro Bowl. We found out one thing today. Nate Kading can't kick against the Jets.
Twice now, 2 different playoffs.
2004, 2 gimmies today. I'm not even counting the 57-yarder that he missed. But, you know what? I want to thank, though, bro, the Indianapolis Colts, and I want to thank Jim Caldwell for deciding in Week 15 or in the 15th game of the year that he was going to sit Peyton Manning and all his starters with a 5-point lead late in the third quarter, because the New York Jets have not looked back since then. And now, you know what, Peyton, and you know what, Jim, and you know what, Reggie Wayne and Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis, you know what? We're coming to town to play you for real, all right? With it all on the line. And you may wind up ruining the day that you allowed this football team to come back, because it may haunt you in the end. How sweet it is, bro. It just does. Unbelievable. The San Diego Chargers, the high-powered, high-flying offense that had gone 23 consecutive games scoring 20 or more points, you know what? Not anymore. The San Diego Chargers, the hottest team in the NFL, 11 consecutive wins. You know what, bro? That winning streak is over. The New York Jets sticking it right where the sun don't shine to the San Diego Chargers. What a game today. I want to – I don't know where to start. I'm going to start with this guy, though, because I thought the biggest play today, after a terrible call by Brian Schottenheimer, and message to Brian Schottenheimer, I don't ever want to see a reverse again in this offense. After a terrible reverse call with the Jets trailing 7-3, and then a false start penalty, Sanchez forcing that pass into double coverage. Quentin Jammer picks it off. And I got to tell you, bro, they were down 7-3 at that point. I said, you know what? We're in big trouble now, because if they had scored there a touchdown and taken a 2-score lead, I don't know if this Jet team was coming back. But Darrelle Revis, the best corner on the planet. I don't want to hear about Asamoah. I don't want to hear about Champ Bailey. I don't want to hear about Charles Woodson. The best corner on the planet, Darrelle Revis, with as unbelievable an interception as you could make to stop San Diego in their tracks. And then the huge pick by Jim Leonard, the terrific play by Sanchez, buying time, hitting Keller for the go-ahead touchdown. Sean Green springing that 50, whatever it was, yard run, taking it to the house. And, of course, as only the Jets can, they got to make you sweat. And let me tell you, the last 5 minutes of this game, bro, as you know, I was dying. I had thoughts of Cleveland in 86 running through my head. I had thoughts of Pittsburgh in 04 running through my head, but not this time. Not this time. And this has come from nowhere. 4 or 5 weeks ago when they lost that disastrous game to the Falcons, nobody thought this team would be sitting here right now in the NFL Final Four, 1 win away. And I know it's not going to be easy. We all know what the Colts are. There's no question about it. But this team has been great on the road. They're 7-3 on the road this year. They already have the confidence that they have beaten the Colts, even though the Colts, you want to say they gave us the game. To me, bro, that is what should motivate this football team. Not just, of course, the fact that they're 1 win away from getting to the big game. But they should be motivated by the fact that everybody, even me, everybody said the Jets would not have won that game if Caldwell did not pull Manning and pull his starters. Well, now we have a chance to find out for real, because you know Peyton Manning isn't getting pulled next week, and it's going to be for all the marbles, bro.
How you feeling?
How
you feeling, bro? Oh. Let me tell you something. Let me just tell everybody something. The experience of watching this football game in San Diego with a lot of Jet fans around. Sitting next to this man, that was quite an experience. I didn't tell you this at the time, but I'll tell you now. When Sean Green went off on the 52 or 53-yard run, and that was the moment where you really thought this was going to happen.
Yep.
Joe actually decked me in the face.
Oh, did I?
Yes, you did. It was all right, though. You think I cared?
I apologize, bro. I love you.
Joe,
you know
do you
that.
think I care, though?
I'm sorry about that.
You know what this game is? This game was the microcosm of how the Jets got into the playoffs. Because here we go back to the first half, and the San Diego Chargers were handing this to the Jets. They said, we want you in this game. We're going to commit dumb penalty after dumb penalty after dumb penalty. And they did. And Nate Kading misses a chip shot early from our vantage point. We thought it was through. We thought it was 3-0 San Diego. But again, San Diego said, please, we want to give you a chance. We want to give you a chance. Just like Indy gave the Jets that chance back in the 15th game of the year. And San Diego kept saying, even at the half, and we said this to each other, Joe, boy, I'll tell you, the Jets are right there. Thank you, San Diego. It's 7-0 at the half. The Jets are getting the ball to start the half. Boy, San Diego's done everything they could with, 5 personal foul penalties?
Yeah, they got 5. And how many false? They had at least, what, they have about 9, 10 penalties in this game?
I think they had 9 overall. I'll look it up.
Something like that.
But they begged.
Stellar, bro.
They begged the Jets to come back in this game. They said, please, come back in this game.
They did.
And then just like the Jets did in Cincinnati, and just like they did home against Cincinnati, and just like they did today in San Diego, they said, you want to give us that extra chance? We're going to bust right through. And they busted right through in the second half of this game after the Chargers gave them every opportunity to get back into it, just like the Colts gave them a second life on the playoffs. And now,
here we are.
The irony is fantastic.
Incredible.
Because Mike told all of us, and it ticked me off, and we came on the next day and disputed it.
I hope you're listening, Mike. We're going to play him for real now. And I know you're picking the Colts by 30, so it's time to start giving this. Mike, I know you're listening. I know you're doing your mic'd up show soon. It's time to start giving his football team some props, Mike. Time to start giving him some props, Mike Francesa. No doubt about it.
Well, Mike and a lot of other people, not just Tim, said the Colts were going to win that game. You even just said it. We don't know because it's football. You don't know. Just like when the Jets made the playoffs at 9-7, and I would occasionally say, hey, look, you never know. Teams get hot.
Absolutely, bro.
You just don't know. And now the Jets have that opportunity. 1 win away, 60 minutes away from the Super Bowl. Thank you, San Diego. Thank you, Nate Kading. Thank you, dumb penalties. Thank you for trying to run the football when you clearly couldn't. Because the Chargers allowed the Jets in this game, and the Jets busted right through just like the way they made the playoffs.
Absolutely, bro. I think it's maybe time for the phony LT to retire because what did he rush the ball for about 15 times for 10 yards in this game?
Let's see that total.
What was his longest run? 4 yards?
It was 12 carries for 24 yards.
Stellar effort.
And they tried,
by
Joe.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
They tried.
Oh, they did. You got to give them credit for that.
They did their best to establish the run, and it just didn't work. The Jet defense did an excellent job, and you know what? The Jet defense overall did a very nice job in this game.
Hey, let me tell you right now.
They made every tackle.
And let me say this, okay? For a defense that doesn't have a big-time pass rusher, for a defense that, everybody says, well, look, they're not the 85 Bears, they're not the 2000 Ravens. You know what? They're pretty good.
They're not bad.
You know what? It's a pretty good defense. And what's the story? And what's the number now? When the Jets win the turnover battle, which they did again today, the number is now 10-0 on the year, bro.
That's not bad.
Unbelievable.
And we said this in the first half, watching this game, this defense needs to make a big play. This defense needs to force a turnover. You said it at the top. Darrelle Revis changed the momentum in this game with
no doubt.
Just a nuts interception because it was laying on like the leg of Vincent Jackson.
Unbelievable.
And then falls right to Darrelle Revis. And then, of course, Jim Leonard with a huge pick. Huge pick.
Stellar
They
pick.
needed to force turnovers. They did, and they ran the football at least when they needed to in the second half.
And let me also give a little prop here to Weatherford because he had that punt that went out on a 4-yard line, which really set up the Jim Leonard interception.
Absolutely.
That was huge. That pick out of the end zone from Rivers and Weatherford, who had a bad punt really to start the game and gave them pretty good field position. But again, as you said, San Diego continued to shoot themselves in the foot. All the penalties, 4 or 5 personal foul penalties in his game. Look, what can you say? I think the most amazing thing, bro, is that it has come out of nowhere. I always felt, and I said this on the show back when we were in New York on Friday, or maybe it was yesterday. I don't even know. I'm delirious, so who cares? But, this team, I always envisioned the Super Bowl year, with the Jets being 13-3, 14-2, winning the division, that kind of year. I never envisioned that, a team that would be 9-7 and, barely made their way in could be in the position they are now. But this team has gotten better and better. Rex mapped it all out. He said, we should be the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Say whatever you want. I know it's going to be a tall order going into Indy, but this team is one win away from going to the Super Bowl for the first time in 41 years.
And in doing it in what would be a miraculous way.
Just
when
unreal.
you're 7-7, you win and you go 9-7, and you win your last 2 games against what teams that didn't care.
Water, bro.
And that's okay. And you go to Cincinnati and you go to San Diego, as you put so well at the top. 11 straight wins. They scored 20 points a game. All these marvelous streaks. A place kicker who had missed 3 field goal attempts the entire year. Now I know one of them today was 57 yards.
I can't even count.
But he did miss 3 today.
He did miss 3.
I'm just saying.
57. I was confident he wasn't making that, but yeah, boy, what was the first one? 35, and the other one maybe 30. I don't know.
The first one that
they
he
were
missed.
makeable, I know that.
Oh, absolutely. The first one that he missed.
I was stunned. I thought it was good.
No, I had to tell you. I said I'm looking at the official. He signaled no good.
Unbelievable.
And you have to wonder if Nate Kading was thinking about January of 2005.
You do.
You got to wonder.
You do.
Because as Jet fans, when we think of Nate Kading, we don't just think of accurate kicker, Pro Bowler. We think of guy that gave the Jets and Eric Barton a respite in what would have been a disaster back after the 2004 season. Nate Kading missing a huge field goal. And here's Nate Kading missing 2 more gettable field goals. I mean, look, you could say the Jets have had a lot of breaks along the way, and they have. Shane Graham can't hit field goals. Nate Kading can't hit field goals, but they've been opportunistic. And that's the sign of a team that shocks the world and wins championships. You have to be opportunistic. And I don't want to hear another thing from anybody else that says, get your head out of the clouds, stop talking crazy, stop talking nuts.
Not anymore.
They just went to San Diego and beat the hottest team in the NFL and beat a team that me, you, everybody was saying was going to the Super Bowl. Everybody picked the Chargers to go to the Super Bowl.
I thought they were the best team in the AFC, coming into the playoffs, and obviously not the case, bro.
No.
Obviously not the case.
Not quite, because the Jets walked into their building, and even though they were trailing at the half 7-0 and had what was their first down late in the second quarter?
Yeah, Jets didn't get a first down in this game, right, till about 6 minutes to go in the second quarter?
Maybe so.
Like that.
The Jets beat that football team.
They did. They wore them down. The offensive line, again, played an outstanding game, wore them down. I guess they got to Sanchez once. We sacked once in this game.
Yeah.
I think Eric Weddle got him on a blitz one time.
And nobody touched Eric Weddle.
Right. They didn't touch him on that play. Outside of that, I think that was the only time that Sanchez got sacked the entire game. So the offensive line played terrific. But, this is a very, very confident football team. And Rex Ryan, like I said, he's mapped it out, and his team is believing in him. And they don't fear anything. And I'll tell you right now, the Colts are going to be prohibitive favorites. There's no doubt about that. No question about it. And nobody's going to give the Jets a chance to win this thing next week. I know it. Absolutely nobody. I'm telling you right now, I can hear Francesa right now. The Colts will win this game by 20. Don't even watch. Don't even bother. Guaranteed. He'll be killing the quarterback, right? He stinks, right? This defense, it's overrated. Whatever. I'm tired of hearing the garbage from anybody. I don't care who they are.
Even us.
Right.
Because we've started the garbage.
Even myself.
It's come from us, too.
My team is 1 win away from going to the bowl. Bring on Manning. Why not? Why not us, bro?
Hey.
Why not us?
You know
That's what I said.
We bring it up a lot, and most of the time I'm sure people roll their eyes, and we even roll our eyes sometimes when we say it. But you just don't know. And we give examples every year. Well, this team did it. That team did it. The Arizona Cardinals were in the Super Bowl. They were a mediocre team that looked like they didn't want to get off their plane whenever they flied east. Arizona Cardinals got to a Super Bowl. The New York Giants, we know this firsthand.
Yeah, we kind of saw a little bit of the same thing 2 years ago.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And they won a championship and beat the unbeatable New England Patriots. We saw the Steelers make a crazy run. In the NFL, there seems to be that team that stuns the world. And if you look at the Final Four, that's right, the Final Four.
Bro.
You see Indy, they were supposed to be there.
Yep.
You see Minnesota, with the great Brett Favre, they're supposed to be there.
Yep.
You see New Orleans, they started 13-0, they're supposed to be there. And then you got that little chubby fat kid that's not supposed to be there, that didn't get the prom date. The New York Jets are there, they're a part of the party. And when you're in the party, you never know. You got a shot. And we are pumped up, and rightfully so.
I cannot say enough. This is one of the sweetest victories. Haven't been a Jet fan, and you all know it, since 1965. this is one of the best wins this franchise has ever had. You know, the Super Bowl III obviously is the number one win they ever had. You know, the AFL title game to get there that year. That great win in in L.A. against the Raiders in that 82 season when they beat them 17-14. And then, of course, went to Miami and lost. Mel with those two big picks to end the game there in that January of 83. You know, this one is right there. I may have to put that one. This one today may jump ahead. It's even the same score, 17-14, as that Raider game was. This one may jump ahead of that Raider game with only those two wins in 68, ahead of it. This is unbelievable. Off the charts today.
Now, we have absolutely no idea what time it is.
Nor do we care.
We don't really care.
We don't care.
I'm sure we blew up an update and some breaks, but here's what we will do. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We're going to be here until 10 o'clock
10
your
o'clock
time.
Eastern
10
time.
o'clock
Yes.
Eastern time. Hopefully we'll squeeze in some calls, but when we come back, I think it's important that we do this because we were screaming at Rex Ryan. There were a lot of decisions throughout this game that he didn't like. We'll get to that. And we'll do a lot more. We're live from Qualcomm Stadium as the New York Jets
in the AFC Championship game. Can you believe it?
Wow. We're coming back.